Welcome to another episode of So You Think You Know Westerville. Although it may sound unlikely, in the late 1800s, a florist from Westerville went on his very own Wild West adventure bringing outlaws to justice. Frank Sked worked as a gardener and a florist for most of his life, and his green thumb was very evident from a young age. In 1875, when Sked was 18, someone described his beautiful plants and flowers that he displayed at the state fair as, quote, the finest selection in the whole state. His greenhouse stood right here at the corner of College and Vine, and he lived right next door for many years. But by his 30s, Sked's sense of wanderlust had won out. In 1889, he joined the Pinkertons, a detective agency that was famous for tracking down bank robbers and train robbers. The Pinkertons worked to track down a fugitive named Pegleg Watson, who had led an attack on a train near Cotopaxi, Colorado, and stole $3,500. Watson and one of his associates were finally arrested over 500 miles away from the scene of the crime. Sked had had 3 months of experience going undercover in jails, posing as a criminal in order to extract admissions of guilt from other prisoners or to get other valuable information out of them. And his boss asked him to be a mole in the jail for Pegleg Watson after 3 other operatives failed. Sked flat out refused. He must not have liked spending 3 months at a time in jail. His other assignments weren't particularly glamorous either. The other big thing that the Pinkertons were famous for was strike breaking. Sked's first assignment was in New Orleans, where switchmen from multiple railroads were striking for better pay and shorter hours so they could spend more time with their children. Pinkertons and police officers were dispatched to guard the rail line's property and to prevent strikers from interfering with the switchmen who kept working. The New Orleans strike was peaceful, but another strike that Sked worked, a miners' strike at Coeur d'Alene, erupted in gunfire and a building was even dynamited. He was not just caught up in the railroad and mining companies' fights against workers' rights. When the New Orleans chief of police was assassinated, Sked found himself in a case that highlighted the anti-Italian hysteria that was common in the United States during the time due to large-scale immigration from Southern Europe. When asked who shot him, the chief of police whispered a derogatory name for people of Italian descent before dying. Despite a lack of evidence, rumors quickly spread that the mafia was responsible. The mayor appointed a committee whose job was to root out and destroy Italian-American cells of crime in the city. The committee tried to induce people to spy and inform on each other, and there were mass arrests. 19 men were officially charged, and after 6 of them were acquitted and there was a mistrial for 3 more, an angry mob lynched 11 of the suspects. These ugly cases must have taken a toll on Sked. He remembered, "I had many tough jobs but never carried a gun. If I had, I wouldn't be living today." By the end of the 1890s, he was back in Westerville working at his greenhouse. During his free time, he would travel to places as far away as Alaska. He took pride in writing about his travels, showing that he never lost his sense of adventure and his itch to see the world.